Namaste, everyone. Different location again. I decided to come outside one more time, but this time in the backyard. Welcome to day 9. And for day 9 today, it's become willing to love yourself. The way we treat ourselves all comes down to one decision. The decision of love. Deciding for love is a commitment that requires willingness. When we're unwilling to deal with our past or unwilling to look at our patterns, true change cannot occur. Living with a miracle mind or mindful mind is a deep process. It requires a true surrender to look at your fears head on and say, I am willing to change. By picking up this book and joining along with me to read it, you've already made a statement to the universe. You've announced your willingness to shift and grow. Now let's take it one step further. Become willing to love yourself fully, flaws and all, everyone. It may seem tough to awaken the willingness to love yourself. This is to be expected. The ego has worked very hard to convince us we're unlovable. Mustering up the desire to love oneself may seem like a hefty feat. Try not to get tripped up about this, okay? Instead, keep it simple and allow today's morning reflection to guide you, or our first reflection, to guide your process. Follow the exercises and allow willingness to shine forth. Having the willingness is all you need to receive the guidance to change. With that in mind, today's practice is less action-based and more subconscious. This work is about surrender. All right. Being outside, I gotta adjust this. I hope you guys hear the birds and maybe the dogs playing in the background. Okay, so we're going to begin today's morning reflection in your meditation space. That's why I decided to be outside. Sit on the floor or even get on your knees to read the passage. Or you can sit outside, start doing some grounding. When you come to the earth, there's consciousness everywhere. So being in my backyard, seeing the green, seeing the grass, reading to you, feeling the breeze in my face, helps me to settle. I'm allowing myself to feel and be with the universe. But for her, she says, the gesture of getting on your knees is a reflection of true surrender. Which is true, but if you have bad knees or if you're in pain, getting on the ground as low as you ground is also true surrender. Coming to the earth is also true surrender. When I surrendered to release my negative self-perception, I spent several months praying on my knees. The physical act of praying on my knees made a statement to myself and the energy around me that I was ready, willing, and able to love myself again. I feel that way every time I go to the mat. Every time I get to the yoga mat and I do child's pose or happy baby pose, I am completely surrendering to whatever's there. When I come to my garden and I put my hands in the dirt, I am just allowing myself to become one with the earth. If I walk around the grass, just sit down in the park and just chill and just be, it just allows me to be me. It gives me that time of just complete timelessness. There's a lot of space. So find what works for you. So if you're up to it, hit your knees. Or not, you can choose all the different ways I just gave you, and read the following passage out loud. Then sit for a minute of stillness and let the love settle in. Okay, find your spots, everyone. I'm getting ready to read it. Are you ready? You can repeat after me. I surrender. Today, I turn over all the fearful projections that I have placed upon myself. I release all self-doubt and attack today. In this moment, I choose to let it all go. I am willing to be guided to new projections. I am willing to love myself again. Inner guide, please take the steering wheel and show me how to truly surrender my fear so I can wholeheartedly love myself again. Oh, I just love that. I gave the keys and then driving instruction to my inner teacher, capital S self, universal love. And fear gets to be a passenger, or just gets to be lulled to silence. Affirmation for today. I am willing to let go of my self-doubt. I surrender to self-love. When you sense fear sneak in today, it's important that you consciously reach for your affirmation. As you become more aware of the ways in which you treat yourself poorly, you heighten your willingness to choose love. Here are some things to look out for. Negative self-talk. Attack thoughts toward yourself. Comparing yourself to others or judging yourself wrongly. Genuine awareness is key to transcending all fear-based decisions. Today, be diligent as you work with your affirmation. You may even want to write it on a piece of paper or a bright post-it and tape it to your computer screen or somewhere that you look throughout the day. The visual reminder of your affirmation is subtle but powerful, and it's a beautiful way to imprint it onto your consciousness. Evening exercise for this evening. This evening check-in is all about self-care. As I mentioned in the introduction to this week, it's essential that you take care of yourself throughout this process. Your willingness to look at your self-attack is very powerful, but it can also bring uncomfortable feelings. Today's surrender may have cracked you open even more. Therefore, this evening, do something kind for yourself. For instance, make yourself a cup of tea and sit peacefully in your meditation space for 10 minutes. Or light a candle, cook a meal for yourself, or take a long bath or shower. Whatever you choose to do, treat yourself like an innocent child. Nurture yourself in some way. Then before you go to sleep tonight, choose your day with an evening reflection that will deepen your willingness, like you did for the morning exercise. She suggests that you get on your knees once again and pray. I love yoga, so I suggest you get on your mat and go into child's pose, or sit down on the ground, come outside in the yard, in the garden if you can, go into your shower, lay down on your bed, smell some incense, get nice and cozy with yourselves, everyone. Get into that position of vulnerability. Remember that this work is totally non-denominational. The practice of praying on your knees just represents surrender. If this makes you uncomfortable in any way, then simply sit on a pillow and say your prayer out loud. We are going to speak the request out loud. Inner guide, thank you for your work today. Tonight, I deepen my commitment to self-love and ask that you remove from me all self-doubt, all attack thoughts, and all my limiting beliefs. I surrender my relationship to myself to you. Inner guide, thank you for mending this relationship and reigniting love. That's the request she's sending. But let's send another message, because the inner guide is you. The inner teacher is you. It's also within you. So how about we say, inner guide, thank you for your work today. Tonight I deepen my commitment to self-love and ask that you help me to learn from my self-doubt, that you help me to speak and understand my attack thoughts, that you help me to discover what my limiting beliefs are and change the story. I surrender my relationship to myself, to me, to my higher capital self, to the inner teacher, to the universal love, to love itself. Inner guide, thank you for helping me to reignite, to rediscover the loving relationship with myself. So you can choose either to read it as is or the affirmation that I said instead. Whatever one you choose, show yourself some love, much, much love. And just for an added visual, I'll let you see my garden from where I'm sitting and see the view of my backyard. Love you all. Have a blessed day.